Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to share with you what is class and object in JavaScript. Now, of course, the next question is like, why do we want to have using objects, object-oriented programming? Why don't we just write code straight away without using any class? The answer is yes, you can do that. But however, we use object-oriented programming to make the thing easier to maintain and understand, and actually it helps to reduce a lot of silly mistakes. Let me give you an example. Now let's say if I have two different rectangle, okay, one rectangle, this is the x value of one rectangle, and that rectangle y-axis, the length, if you imagine that, and I tell you that I have two, so you can see this one will be my rectangle 1 and this will be my rectangle 2. One is actually a smaller rectangle. Now if we were to write a function to actually compute the area, okay, of this rectangle, now we can do something like that. Return x multiply y, and we can have just call the code area and put in x1 and y1 if you want to know the area of the first rectangle, and if you want to know the the area of the second rectangle, you can always replace them with the second way. Now what you are looking at as of now is basically what we call sequential programming. It doesn't really have much so-called no object oriented here. Everything is just plain and straightforward. Now one of the problem that this kind of programming is that you can see that sometimes I can do this. Can you see that? And it doesn't really have any semantic. I can have changed the imagine you want to compute an area of a rectangle, but you're using like the wrong x and y, and the program cannot even tell that there is a mistake, and as such and the thing will still go through, and that is the one of the big problem, if you don't actually have object-oriented programming to maintain and control this. We just cannot prevent people from making such a straightforward, or I would say silly mistake. So let's look into how we create an object or a class first. Okay, before you have an object, you need to have a class. So here you go, a class. This class, maybe I'll call it a rectangle, and then I'll open and close it, and I need to have two attributes. Two attributes. One is the x value, another one is the y value. Okay, so we can have both of them. Let's have a function to actually get this value. For example, I have a function called get area. So I'm just going to return this to return x multiply y. Okay, let's see if this is workable. If this is workable, let's create a new rectangle. Let r equals to a new kind of rectangle. Now I can put r dot x equals to 40, r dot y equals to 50, and let me see if I can print this r dot get area. Oops, this guy return x is not defined. Yep, we are right, because I forgot to put in this so that it refers to this x and y, not any x and y. So you can see now it starts to work. I can put this x value, y value, and then this I can get this area. So that's why I don't have to put anything in. Now let me show you the same thing that what I did earlier. let me tell you, let's say I have a second rectangle, and I happen to have the same the 4 and 5, but rather 40 and 50. And you can see when I run R2, these two rectangles will give me the correct get area. And there's no way for me to confuse or force me to put this 4 here multiply with this y. I mean, there's no way we can do that. Yeah, so this is what we call one of the advantage of having object-oriented programming. So this is what we're looking at. This is a class. Okay, if you still remember what we have practiced earlier, and these are what we call the attributes. Okay, and this is how you create an object. So now if you look at new rectangle, basically you create an object of this rectangle. Of course, initially everything was actually inside was 0. So now if we set the value, and then we call the get area. So we have this rectangle. Now of course this is not fully OO yet. Why? Because now we allow user to do this. Now I'll give you an example. What if the user put in A? Something like that. You can see the get area will have an issue, right? So this is also another thing that we need to take care of. Like for example, we don't want to prevent we want to prevent people from putting the right value into the variables. Yeah, so how do we do that? So instead of doing that, we might want to have another function called set x. Okay, value that this will this dot x equals to value. So this is how we create a set function. Y value. So this one they will actually set. So instead of calling this, now you can do this dot set x. Instead of equal, you put this, and you can use this dot set y with this. So you can see we can use this function to actually trigger the value. Sorry, because I think this most likely the error that I did. Y and x capital letter, they are case sensitive. Now you can see we can do it this way. Now why you want to do it this way? Because over here you can do something like to control this. Like for example, this value, yeah, you can do something like to check the type of this, yeah, the type of this. Let me show you this one. Okay, let me try some example here. Okay, console dot log. You can use something called type of. Okay, let me put in 5. Let me put in numbers. Okay, let me show it to you. You can see that this is actually type of. This is a number. This is a string. So we know that we want user to enter us a number. So we can do this number. So you return us true, correct? So this will tell us we can use this right here. We say if the value is number, then you do this. Else this x equals to 0. So we control. So with this, now we can actually control, like for example, if this user put in an A, you can get a 0. Yeah, if this gives you a number, then you get the correct answer already. So we can do this way using a function, a set function, to detect what type of value that actually can be go or insert into our attributes. Yeah, so that we won't have errors like previously I've shown you. So I hope this makes it very clear to you, the use of a class and the difference between a class and an object. Okay, I hope you see it here very clearly. And I also hope that you understand why we want to use a get function and set function. This is what we call a getter and setter function. Yeah, you can of course create an array of rectangles as well if you want. Yeah, so for now, this is it. So do you have any questions? If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. All right, thank you very much.